Welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. We've got a new unboxing. This one is for the DC Designer Series Amanda Connor of Harley Quinn from DC Collectibles. 4 figures celebrating this very popular character. Now, for those who don't know, Harley Quinn actually first appeared on Batman the Animated Series in September of 1992, created by Paul Dini and Bruce Timm, and didn't actually appear in comics until Batman Adventures number 12 in September 1993. Now, she is a super popular character, spinning off and getting so many of her own series that have constantly been loved by fans, and currently, under the guiding, loving care of Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti, who have been, having fun with the character and really expanding her world and everything about her. So, Amanda Connor is an amazing artist, and these figures are kind of based off of her designs for Harley. So we're going to open up, show off the figures, which you can go and get in stores now. So first in the series is this traditional Harley Quinn figure. Now, for those who don't remember, or maybe have never seen the Batman animated series and just know her from, like, Suicide Squad, she had this basic look. Not that complicated as far as the design. Kind of this court jester sort of look to her. And, this perfectly captures what we would expect from Harley in kind of a more traditional look of her. So, figure itself looks really, really great. The sculpting is very consistent in that, which is solid, if you ask me. Like, the sculpting is really good, the coloring's good, the design looks great. Let's go actually looking at the figure. We'll come to the accessories next, but get things kind of prepped for her to stand around and show off. Let's take her out of her package. This is the part I always hate in these videos because, well, it seems to take forever to get things out of their package nowadays. These fancy figures. I don't remember it being this difficult when I was a kid. As far as design the figure, we can kind of see a little bit as I get her out of her packaging. It has tons of great detail to it. Even on the backside, kind of has the diamond look to her. This plays off of what she originally looked like in the Batman animated series, and a design that kind of transferred over to the comic book series and has evolved over the years. So you can kind of see with some of these figures in front of us. Let's get this figure out. As far as articulation, we've got the head that swivels all around nice. Arms pivot at the shoulders, just like you kind of expect. Hand turns around. Got it at the wrist. And turns, and the legs and the knees have good articulation. The legs do not pivot. Some figures can do that, some figures can't. As far as standing, it's always a test that I like. Can the figure stand without her special base? In this instance, she absolutely can. And as far as accessories, she comes with this gun, which hopefully can fit in her hand. I'm having difficulty getting in her hand. There we go. So she's got her special gun and her dead stuffed beaver. Now, these accessories all have a little goofy thing to them. In this case, we've got guts sticking out. You can see there. All gross and fun, and yeah. Fans of Harley will appreciate it. Others might look at this a little weird. So the figures, it's a solid interpretation of the character. It's a great design. Kind of evokes the classic look to her. So overall, you know, a really solid first figure in the series. Now there's 4 of them. So far so good. Let's go with number 2 in the series over here, Space Harley Quinn. Kind of feel like this was the point in Batman when they started doing all kinds of crazy different versions of him. And there was like space version and ice version and yeah. Alright. Let's get this Harley back up into her spot. Clearly, Harley's weakness is shaking tables. Alright. Alright, let's look at this figure itself. It's good. It's goofy, it's weird, it's funny. Definitely evokes a nice vibe of Harley in her world. Face. We have giant pizza alien thing. Now this is, I'm, you know, not the biggest of Harley Quinn fans, so I don't really know a whole lot about this version, unlike the other 2 that we definitely have I've seen in comics, so I can point to them at least. This one evades me a bit. But has this fun Buck Rogers-esque vibe to it all. Almost got her out. Alright, so this one actually comes to the point that you have to do a little of assembly to it. But before we get to that, can she stand? I'm going with no. Things are a little off with this figure. This one seems to have some issues standing on her own, so there we go, kind of. Yeah, so this one's having some problems. That's not a good sign. Let's look at generally the design of the figure. I like how it plays off of the original. You can actually put her hair on. So this would go, I was guessing like this. And this. Sure, I'll go like that, I guess. Alright, let's see what else accessories we got. This figure I'm kind of not super impressed by. Like, it's decent, but you can see I have a lot of issues with it. That's never a good sign. Oh, this could help. Alright, so the reason you could put her hair like that is because she, of course, has a helmet to go on. Okay, that's kind of fun. It's goofy, but it's fun. Oh, here it fits much better this way. There we go. And then she's got a ray gun. That fits somewhere. We'll do that. Interesting figure. There's a lot to it, which is I like. What's odd is it's just not standing very well. So this might be the first figure I've gotten out of any of DC Collectibles that's really a pain in the butt to stand up. But the design's really neat. The body with the kind of plastically look looks really good. I like the throwback to old school sci-fi with the helmet and the ray gun, and making the ray gun kind of a pop gun is pretty damn funny if you ask me. So I like a lot of aspects about this. There's just some issues with the figure itself, it feels like, which is strange because usually DC Collectibles is like completely on top of that. The Pizza Hut, the Hut figure, it's fun. It's a nice, interesting thing. I'm sure there is a series that it all goes to, but it's not one that I really know a hell of a lot about. So, unfortunately, I can't espouse as to where that came from or why that's a thing. And we can already see the figures kind of like toppling and falling over, and yeah. We'll see if it stands up for the rest of this video. Alright, next we've got the superhero Harley Quinn. This one I know about. This was Harley teaming up with Wonder Girl as she does her superhero persona. And knowing this one pretty well, it really does capture the look of the figure and the character and the design super well. It does a solid job of that. So I'm really impressed as far as that aspect of the figure. Let's take it out of its packaging and dissect it a little bit more. So I don't, I just vaguely know the story arc of Harley and Supergirl, or Wonder Girl, not Supergirl. Wonder Girl winds up teaming up, and Harley tries to be a superhero and do different kind of shtick to her normal thing. She winds up having this new costume. There's actually a pretty cool riff on the original and nice take on it. I don't know how the story actually turned out, so you're going to have to forgive me as far as that aspect. But it is fairly recent, and you can go pick it up. I think it ran during the New 52, primarily towards the end of that. But it could have happened before that as well. Alright, so figure. Let's go with the general look of it. Solid design, as we can see. We've actually a little bit different. The kneecaps are have kind of shields on them. As far as movement, the character for the figure is really stiff, but moves well. And we got a nice solid plastic cape that goes along with it. That is molded onto the shoulders, so it can't really come off as far as there. And let's see if she stands up any better. She's good. She's holding up pretty well. And we're going to take Space Harley and hopefully get her to stand up a little bit better. There we go. As far as accessory, this one comes with an alternate head that you can put on if you want. That supposedly can do something in water, but I'm not quite sure. See, you like dunk it in water and squeeze it, and I guess it cries. Very anime in the style. So we can, it seems, we're supposed to be able to pop off the head and replace it. There we go. So we can get the head off. and put on this version instead. It's very hard to put on that head, so normally replacing heads are pretty easy with these figures. This one was very tight and difficult. There we go, popped it back on. So overall, like, a good depiction of the character. And so far, out of all of them, I'm really liking the original most. It is the OG classic. And, yeah. And then finally, we've got Holiday Harley Quinn celebrating Christmas and the holidays with her cherry style. Alright. Let's go throw this one in the middle. We're going to put sci-fi to the side. As far as articulation, it's looking like she's going to be really good for the rest of them. We've got this holiday bomb as an accessory. We've got the hammer for her to go on. Let's do the big test of whether or not she can stand on her own or not. Now this kind of version of Harley Quinn has been in a few different stories. I know there's been statues of her. It's a popular take. I wonder why. But it's a cool style. Again, like all these other figures, it's a really good riff on the original costume and the classic look, and I think that's something that Amanda Conner does really, really well, is taking that traditional look of Harley and twisting it just enough to give us something new, whether or not it's her or her friends or whatever. There's enough that it all still feels very original, even though it's kind of derivative of the original work. And yeah. So, looking at this figure, definitely has some issues standing up. Oh, there we go. We got her standing on her own. As far as the detail on this, out of all of them, I think this one's my favorite as far as the detail. It's a good look on the face. The makeup looks really, really solid. The hair's got the jingle bell balls on there. There's the lining for the costume is really, really neat. And again, it takes a riff on the classic original with the designs and the coloring, and just adds a little bit to give it a unique vibe and feel about it. So overall, I like it a lot. I mean, I think out of all the figures, the original is probably my favorite, with the Holiday Harley being the second one of as far as that, and then from there Superhero, and then the Spacesuit, just because Spacesuit is having some issues standing. But overall, like, if you are a Harley Quinn fan, this is definitely a lineup that you should go check out and get figures and add them to your collection. It's out in stores now. We've got some links. We'll have links underneath this video where you can purchase your own figures. They are probably affiliate links, so we'll get a small percentage of that, but by doing so, you help support our site. So thank you very much for that. Again, I want to thank DC Collectibles for hooking us up with some cool figures that definitely connect the spirit of Harley, and definitely brings Amanda Conner's designs to life in a sort of way, as far as plastic toys and toys for you to go play with. So I think this is definitely figures for the Harley Quinn fans to check out and enjoy and add to their collection. So again, thank you so much, DC Collectibles. Now, if you are into Harley Quinn, if you're into DC Comics, if you're into comic books in general, you should check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games. you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.